Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I should say this is good because coming on to live audience after like 9, 10 months is a big deal. So I'm glad actually that everybody's eating. Please continue eating. It relaxes me knowing that all eyes aren't on me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. Jazakallah khair for inviting me for this platform. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us and our families and grant us barakah in the efforts that we're making today. May this go a long way. Being said that, the topic that I have is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's emotional intelligence and how he led an emotionally balanced life by example. I'll start with the hadith. He who mixes with people and is patient with them is better than the one who avoids the people and doesn't have patience with them. In another example, Hussein ibn Ali radiallahu anhu, he asks his father about the gatherings of Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Ali radiallahu anhu, he responds, he would not stand or sit without except the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When he sallallahu alaihi wasallam would go to the people, he would sit wherever there was space and he would give the attendee the due portion of eye contact, of knowing them, of listening to them, of basically validating them. And this was one of his beautiful traits that made everybody think that they are special to Prophet ﷺ. It made everybody feel special and everybody feel close to Rasulullah ﷺ. He was attuned to paying attention to the people around him. He ﷺ was a compassionate father, husband, leader, teacher. In any role we see, we know and we understand that he was able to strike a chord. Of course, he was Rahmatul Alameen. Of course, he was a messenger. Of course, there is love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our hearts. But what amazes me is that there have been prophets before him, and he was the last. And his duty was not towards a certain nation, but it was towards humankind. So in his character, in his way of leadership, in his way of domestic life, each and every tribe, religion has seen how to imitate his character, which is, I think, one of the biggest miracles. If we think about it, we do not say that he was a prophet of Arab, we do not say that he was a prophet of a particular nation, like we talk about Musa alayhi salam or Isa alayhi salam. He is a messenger for the whole entire human mankind. A servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, Abdullah. I often think of this, who do I serve? When I serve a community, when I serve my children, when I serve my family, when I serve somebody else, what is my identity? What am I out of the roles of my service? And that statement, a servant of Allah, helps me to understand and realize my aim and my goal in life. It helps me to empathize with everybody. Zero. There can't be any. Otherwise, we would be angels, we won't be human beings. SubhanAllah. Ghazali, in his book of Alchemy of Happiness, writes in Emotional Intelligence. When he writes about emotional intelligence, he says that it is a draining. It is self-knowledge considered to be not only an essential means of understanding and influencing the emotional states of others, but also the means by which a person can gain control of themselves. We fail to realize that there is a high price to pay for ignoring our own emotional states. Recently, I launched my course, The 7 P's of Self-Development. It was geared towards mothers, and in it, I talk about 7 P's of personal growth, personal development, and analysis and objectives, but each of them deals with how emotionally intelligently we are working towards our purpose, our goal. It's easy to write the goals of the day, and it's easy to write quarterly goals, but the base of everything is to be empathetic, emotionally intelligent towards that one main goal. The result of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Following the Quran, following the Sunnah. And it becomes an action of ihsan. Of course, this will come with practice, taqwa, and yearning to meet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in Jannatul Firdaus. Ameen. I urge our families to be empathetic towards each other and follow the standards of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And this part I wrote after Biden was elected, so just a few more lines. I was like, subhanAllah, today Biden got elected, right? We were on the edge, pins and needles, what's going to happen? Being Muslims, alhamdulillah, we had tawakkul, we said we came this far, inshallah, good is going to happen, khair will come, whatever the result is. However, 66 million plus people still voted for the other party. But there were more who voted for the right party. There were more who voted because they had the emotional intelligence, the empathy to understand that each one of the persons living in the United States of America, each citizen has the right to freedom, has the right to be known, has the right to be respected. Is that so far away from the Sunnah of Prophet ﷺ? No, it isn't. It is the embodiment of our deen. It is the embodiment of what Rasulullah ﷺ taught us. The COVID, it helped us understand our realities. It stopped everything. It stopped our travel, it stopped the work, it stopped everything. I believe we are extremely privileged, and COVID actually brought us together. Our families, our routines, our mindless running towards don't know what, our lack of empathy. I think we became more empathetic when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's kun happened with this COVID. The political unrest, it brought us together. The killing of our innocent brothers and sisters, John Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Daniel Pruitt, Tamara Rice, and many other countless faces. When during COVID, during the height of pandemic, everybody wore masks and everybody came out. What was that? That was empathy. That was emotional intelligence. And we all have it in us. We have this altruistic nature, like we want to do something. Today, each one of you came. I know some of you probably have headaches, some of you have some ache in body, some of you have family things to manage, some of you are going through something emotionally that is problematic, but you're here, and you're here for the higher purpose. Alhamdulillah. And that is the beauty of Mu'mineen Muslimin. That is the beauty of our ummah. That is the beauty of understanding our main purpose. And in the end, I say that it is empathy and compassion and sincere effort for justice and eradication of hate that we were today able to elect Joe Biden. Alhamdulillah. But all of that starts from one home. All of that starts from each and every single home. It starts from a mother's perspective, it starts from a father's perspective, it starts from our children. Each one of us has to do our job in order to understand and model the character of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And this is what I envision for myself, our children, our communities, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for listening.